for today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Oh!
The internal screaming. It never stops.
What?
Never.
What?
The internal screaming. It
I
never
can't-
stops.
I can't hear you. What are you saying? I can't hear lower tones. We need that ear horn.
The ear horn, yes. I should have ordered it.
All this sounds like is you going. That's what it sounds like.
It was so funny that one night it hurt when I spoke. Then he couldn't hear, so it has just been an exercise in frustration and fuckery.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Yeah.
All the way around.
It's so. Oh.
And it's just like, right before
So
we got ready to
frustrating.
record, he stuffs his face with saltwater taffy.
I was enjoying that taffy, damn it. It's not often. That is a treat. That is a luxury.
Oh.
That's saltwater
Did it
taffy.
taste authentic?
Yes.
Did it? Okay.
Yes.
I can't remember where I got that. If that was at the Wawa Mart or where.
I mean, it's close enough for jazz, you know. It's
Yeah.
probably going to...
You do know that.
This is going to sound doomer-ish, or not really doomer-ish, but it's probably going to be about the same shit anyway down there now.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
But it's the air, the salt, the actual salt water in
Right.
the air.
Right.
It does something to it.
It does. And an atmosphere has a lot to do with everybody's experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's something that everything's crazy right now. Everything is crazy.
Yeah.
And grok is because there's been lots of crazy, internal, external, upside down. And when you start antibiotics, which both of us were on, there is sort of a die-off phase, just like there is with anything else. And that for a day or two, you can feel really worse.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like...
A healing crisis.
Got a respite day.
Yeah, a healing crisis can in some ways feel worse than the illness, especially with cleanses. And when I was working at a health food store, people would come and say, like, I felt horrible. Yes, because it's dragging up the badness so that it can be cleared. We're going through that in our world.
It's a detox.
Yeah. Yeah. And the weather and stuff is not helping. It's like we had
it's
storms.
actively going against us.
There were storms today, and it's like we didn't have to go out in it because we couldn't have, even if we would wanted to. But Mom and Omega, they had to pull off the road that the rain had come down, and it was just all of a sudden
Shit.
where everybody was pulling off the road. Thank God they haven't had enough sense to do that.
Yeah.
This is one of the good things about living in rural areas, because nobody could see.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
but
some
it didn't
fuck shit.
last that long.
Yeah, I mean, for just a blip there, it was raining pretty damn hard today here.
Yeah. For just a blip, that's all it takes for bad things to happen.
Yeah.
And if you're on the interstate, man, I tell you, there is no pulling off the road.
No, you're just sort of fucked.
And you've got people that don't have enough sense that they'll keep rolling. And it's like, that's insane. Mm-hmm. And we've got a lot of insane going on out there.
Oh,
Coffee slurp.
Some of them will definitely be doing above the speed limit, even in the rain. Mm-hmm. Those people are dangerous, and the ones that are doing just slow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. They need to find an alternative route.
yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Literally, some of those back roads, you're kind of blessed to be on those during major storms and shit like that.
Well,
like
check the forecast.
It feels a lot safer and more manageable, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, this is one of the weird things because it was 80-some degrees yesterday. This weekend, it's supposed to be back down in the 60s. This is why the perpetual illness, I think. I truly do.
Yeah.
Your body can't regulate.
No. No, it can't regulate all that fast enough. And so it's like, what's going on?
Right. And this is what part of the what's going on. And Grok made just a phenomenal picture for us today. And you're like, what is that? Cell phone. It's funny because you got a cell phone that's got a picture of somebody holding a cell phone that's submerged in a glass of whiskey.
Huh.
Reason being, know your limits. Now, back in the day when I was young and stupid and actively alcoholic, I didn't understand the limits. And it was one of those things that a lot of times, and everybody is different. When you're out and you're partying and you're doing whatever, you don't always realize how much you've consumed until it hits.
Yeah.
And then you bought a ticket to ride.
Yeah.
And that's one of the blessings as far as people getting sick, because that keeps you from dying.
It does.
From alcohol poisoning. There's a lot of people that do die from alcohol poisoning, especially in college and different things like that, because no one has taught them to drink responsibly. Yeah. I am a firm believer in personal responsibility and accountability. In whatever you consume, whether it's alcohol, whether it's other substances. If you are an adult, you make your own choices. And that includes social media.
It includes technology.
It does. Any of this tech and stuff like that can be just as addictive and in some ways just as poisonous as too much alcohol. Now, I'm going to speak from, as far as somebody that did years in AA. Do I occasionally have a drink now? Yeah. Because no longer I have, and if somebody never wants to take another drink, that's fine too. But it's one of those, I have no desire to be drunk. None. Because I don't want to, I'm not that same person. I have made a lot of progress in 40 years. Some days it doesn't feel like enough progress, but, hey.
Yeah.
We all still growing. Technology is so new, I don't think we understand what the level of toxicity is.
No, because this is the first time people have went through this shit ever. So, on this stuff, usually it gets better down the line. Maybe, possibly, maybe.
Well, we do understand that it's, and where it doesn't always affect our bodies, but it does, we're just not aware of it. How does it affect our minds? How does it affect our spirits? When do we know that we're getting to a level of toxicity? For me, it's one of those, when I find myself, after I've been on the internet or whatever, and I'm still, we're not talking about pondering a video or something like that, because I do that. I ponder. Sometimes comments, I will sit and ponder. But when it's something that is weighing on me, then I know that I've reached a level of toxicity.
Yeah.
And I need to detox.
Because it's literally like that heavy feeling.
Yeah. And I've seen...
on your heart, on everything. It's like, oh, no, I need to get off of this.
Kid over there, when he was doing the TikTok thing, my God, that was poisonous for him.
It was literally short-circuiting my brain.
Yeah. And me sitting here going, this is not good for you, this is not good for you.
Well, it was also like mainly my TikTok page, no matter how much I tried to curate it to what I wanted to, it would very seldom show the actual shit that I wanted to see. And I would fall into these rabbit holes of videos that just ended up on my timeline somehow, and it completely just fucked.
Pits of despair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like any other... Have you ever tried to talk to a drunk? You cannot talk reason to a drunk. Or an addict when they're high or anything like it. You can't. That part of the brain is short-circuited. Yeah. And so I would sit here and I'm telling kid, put it down. and he couldn't.
For a while.
Yeah. But you finally made a decision that you had had enough.
Yeah.
You reached bottom. Mm-hmm. And for those who have never had a substance abuse problem, reaching bottom, it's just like there's no place else to go other than up or death. And it is a moment of decision. And those of us that have been there, yeah, you don't want to go back.
No, you don't.
And I have seen some of these kids with the social media and all this technology and stuff like that. And it's like, dear God, please help us. And now, when this airs, I think that Tim Tebow had said it was going to be the National Day of Prayer. I urge everyone to partake in that. Because we need prayer. When you've got young people working in Starbucks that are complaining and whining and crying and making more videos because they have to wear a uniform, for real.
That's what they're whining and crying about? Just having to wear a uniform?
They have no basis of comparison.
Like, literally, that is so minuscule of all the problems that is out there.
That's
in the
not
work
a
field.
problem.
Yeah.
And they should be ashamed, and they don't even have enough sense to know that they should be ashamed. Because they have, like I said, no basis of comparison. Now, here in the Appalachian Mountains, we've always got a basis of comparison. If it's not us, it's somebody near us. Mm-hmm. Helene reminded us how close that can be.
Yeah.
And it's like, for those of us that had grandparents and stuff, and great-grandparents that grew up during the Depression in Appalachia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was rough. And then you had World War II. That was rough. Then you had Vietnam. That was rough.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Some of these areas like this, that's some of the first ones they hit as far as the draft.
Because they don't like us. Because we actually... We're not going to fall into what they're trying to push on us.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like Copperhead Road. They draft the white trash around here first anyhow. Mm-hmm. He spoke truth.
He did. Fully.
Yeah. But that's okay because we have a basis of comparison. Mm-hmm. Now, we've got addiction problems left and right in this area because of lack of jobs, which can lead to despair. If somebody has despair, what are they going to do? They're going to try to self-medicate. It's not so much alcohol anymore as it is meth. And it has been a plague in our communities for decades now.
Yeah.
They actually did a movie. It was the opioids is what it was. I can't remember where in West Virginia, but that it was some little pharmacy that, my God, the thousands of pills that they were giving out a month. That was by design.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well.
Uh-huh. Oh, they did the studies on it. That's not conspiracy theory. That's reality. Uh-huh.
They literally want people to be like mindless zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what happens when you've got an addict in the home, and my God, we know this personally, what do you got? You've got somebody that's possessed. Mm-hmm. And possessed people do things they would never do without the substance. They will steal from you. They will lie to you. They will do anything. They'll sell their soul. They sold their soul when they took whatever it was into their body. That was, they gave consent.
Yeah. Now, are we also including marijuana on that?
If it becomes...
But it's not...
controlling.
Yeah.
If it takes control of you to where you can't function without it, then yes, I will put it in the same category.
Yeah. Well, see, at that point, like, yeah, it has control of you. It's that addiction.
Same thing can be true of food or whatever. You can
Anything
become
can become addicted.
emotions. And I've had people argue me down. People can become addicted to emotions.
They can. And you know what the most common, and like, most common vibration of emotion that people are addicted to?
Anger
Yes.
and fear.
They are angered at, they are addicted to anything that is negative.
Uh-huh. Because
That is
they
outlandish.
feed on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That demonic spirit, that's what they want. They feed on that. And you've got people that are peddling fear and misery and any kind of anything like that. Learn to recognize when you've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to OD on that shit.
No, you don't.
You don't have to poison your spirit with it.
You don't.
And that was something sitting here because having the physical illnesses, and it's like you've got how many people pontificating about whatever horrors are currently and could be, and what are you going to do about it? There's two types of problems. Those you can do something about and those you can't do anything about, and neither one of them are a problem.
Yeah.
That's serenity prayer daily. Mm-hmm. I've got little reminders all through the house. Inked on my wrist, a G quod aegeus. It's pointed towards me. That I need to do what I am doing. I don't have to worry about what kids doing, what anybody else is doing. I need to worry about what I'm doing. I'm responsible for my actions and my choices. Mm-hmm. If I do something stupid, that's on me. Yep. Now, these other kids, that's not anybody to teach them. It's piteous. And I pray for them. I can't fix it. Not my job anymore.
Yeah, it's not your responsibility. And that also goes into boundaries.
Mm-hmm. So as far as people, and a lot of the cat videos get slammed. I understand why people watch the cat videos and the ASMR videos or whatever those, what was I telling you?
Oddly satisfying?
Yes. Yes. Because Slap Tam had posted one of those on X today. He's like, I don't know why this is so fascinating. I could sit and watch this because it gives your mind a mini vacation. Mm-hmm. And it's needed.
That's why I watch it. Still to this day, I watch America's Funniest Home Videos.
Sure. But now there's some of them that it's like they sort of suck you in and you can't. It's like watching a train wreck. You can't turn away.
Yeah.
Now that's where you get into the fail army.
Fail Army will suck you right in. But the actual show, America's Funniest Home Videos, the old one, the one that hosted by Bob Saget even.
Yeah.
That's the one I like to watch the most.
Just the silly, everyday stuff.
It felt simple.
It is simple. Life can be remarkably simple if we allow it.
Simple, peaceful, and fun.
And it's choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, if it's like solar storms or whatever, and I found myself looking at Edgar Casey's futuristic map. Now, Casey had some things that came to pass, and he had a whole lot of them that did not. That's true of a lot of people. Yeah. There's one person that knows what's going to happen, and that's God. Mm-hmm. If you know that one person, then you don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm. That is true. You got
break the fear addiction. Break the anger addiction, because it goes hand in hand. People are afraid. That is a key thing. A lot of times they get angry. They don't know how to, especially in today, you've got so many people that are emotionally, immature.
Yeah.
Infantile. For whatever reason. I don't have to figure out the reason today. Not today. But that's their problem. Mm-hmm. I try to take care of what God presents and puts in front of me.
It's letting people deal with their own storms without you going in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those, just for a day, to pray, to praise. It is so important to have joy.
Because for us, it's better to actually live in the moment. And for a good portion of us, and I'm not including you, and I'm not even really including myself on this, but sometimes it does require, like, it does resonate with me. We're so focused on living vicariously through other people,
Mm-hmm.
rather than focusing on our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we tend to take the storm onto ourselves from these strangers that we don't even know that's online.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of having our emotions controlled by a new form of talking head in a way.
Yeah. Exactly. Again, it's feeding the beast. To have that drawn out of you.
Mm-hmm. And that's like I've slipped right back into the negative, into some of the negative vibes online, and I'm like, you know what? I really should not be in this space because it's just this ain't good. This is doing something not good to me.
Right.
Not good to my spirit.
But you're learning. You're learning to regulate. You're learning when you feel that being drawn out of you. It's like the leeches, like the vampires. That's taking something that you did not give permission, but you did.
Yeah, because I clicked on it.
Yes. You invited it in.
See, this is stuff that people do not think about.
But because they haven't been taught. And this is where people need to teach other people. If you're aware of this, sit there and teach. Now realize if they're in the midst of their addiction, you're going to get some blowback.
Mm-hmm. You definitely are. Mm-hmm. You're definitely going to get some words or hands thrown at you or something like that.
It's like, how dare you? I am in control of me. Are you really?
It's like, you sure about that?
Yeah. And this is... It's like, are you happy? Are you satisfied? Are you joyful today? Are you walking in gratitude?
Right.
Look at all the things that you're blessed with.
Yes. Do not take the external drama and equate it to your life.
Right. Don't take on somebody else's. And in some ways, that makes you a thief.
Yeah.
Did they give you permission to walk into their world? I mean, and some of these people that post this stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't even imagine. Why would you want to do that? To sit there and have strangers invade something that's a very private moment. And it's like I tell kid, even, God, I hate these. I'm one of these people that I think that sleep is a sacred time. I do.
Oh, God.
And that some kid thought that it was funny.
It's not just some kid. It was a bunch of people.
Because monkey see, monkey do on a lot of this stuff.
Became a huge trend. That
they had found a relative, and especially that one was somebody's papa or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was asleep.
Uh-huh.
And as those of us that are older have a tendency to do from time to time, the mouth was open. And he had squeezed lemon juice in the man's mouth. And you're like, that's funny. But then, how traumatic could that be? I would never fall asleep or make sure that I never slept with that person in my house again.
Right, because you cannot trust them. And so you get scared to sleep sometimes.
Right, I think it was a violation of trust. It was funny, but it just,
Unless you're like, you don't mind and you just play along with that or something.
Yeah. I'm like, no. Let that person, that is a separate state of existence. Mm-hmm. That's sacred.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I view it. I don't, of course I'm odd.
I mean, I have cats invading my sleep all the time. So
cats are no respecter of persons.
I don't know what it is as far as my personal sacred sleep anymore.
Because you don't set boundaries. You don't throw them out of your room.
Because they throw a fit if I throw them out of my room.
Well, that's just... You're human.
I'm human and I
Exercise
have
your
control.
authority.
But my toxic empathy overrides my ass,
His
and I
Pisces.
don't enjoy the sound of the paw claws on my
I get it.
door.
I do, and it's where you got to make choices. And this is where we all have to make choices. And to sit there and go, I am human. By God, I've been given the authority of free will to exercise, and I am responsible for what I consume. Watch yourself a cat video. Now, if you're days and weeks and months, that's some dissociation right there.
Yeah.
Deal with whatever needs to be dealt with so that you can go forward and have true joy in your life. Happiness and joy is different. Nobody is happy 24/7, and if they are, they're over-medicated.
Ain't that the truth?
But to be content, to be joyful, to give thanks in all circumstances, even the ones that appear to be horrific in the moment, to trust that we will be, that at some point God will trade ashes and give us beauty. To trust that what the enemy intended for evil, God intends for good. If you miss 10 minutes of the news or whatever talking head is about whatever's going on, that's how they make their coin.
Yes. Yes. That's what the majority... Let's be honest. The news is nothing more than a glorified drama channel.
Yes.
And yet we're watching drama channels by independent creators quite frequently. Or at least I do.
Well, it's isn't a lot of it gossip?
Exactly. That's a lot of the shit that falls into it. It's like it's bitching about other people's lives and, oh, this person did this or they did that or whatever.
It ain't none of my business.
And threatening people for with frivolous lawsuits.
I mean,
and someone making a hit piece on their supposed friend.
How is that a friend? And it's like you get online communities. I know, but bless. You get online communities that you're part of, and different things like that. And I'm grateful to God for Chataria and for our little pirate ship. Those of you on BitChute, even if you just lurk, that we're grateful for you. Over there on Rumble, I have a whole herd of bots, Grateful for the bots.
It's a whole army.
And the people on YouTube, because that's where we've been the longest. And it's like, we are few, but we are mighty. And the energy that, just the sharing of experience and wisdom and humor and, if it's rough times or whatever, that's family.
Yeah.
And Appalachians, we're a strange group of people. And on X, a group of guys, and I think that they were over, they're veterans. They was over there in, I don't know, one of those Middle Eastern countries. They were deployed over there. I have a lot of respect for those guys. And it's called the Appalachian Podcast. And they're pretty active on X. And they had posted the other night. And so this group of people in a car that had a tree that had fallen on it, and that it was a dead tree that they were still going down the road. Cop pulled them over. And shined the light on the dude, and it's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? We're going down there fishing, and it was at night.
Yeah, it's like, well, you don't got something. What was it? You don't got tags or a flag on
it's
this
like, I had it super glued. It must have fell off. The sear thing was part of it. And we could laugh. And it's like my response, and it got a lot of response. Because of my response, I said, oh God, every time you post one of these, I hope it's not somebody that I know, have known, or are kin to.
Yeah.
And so many people could relate.
Yeah.
Because
it's like, oh God, this is a little too close to home.
Extended experience. Now, people from California, they probably not gonna, that's not gonna hit them the same way.
Yeah.
It's no offense to the ones in California.
Well, they just don't get it. It's not it's not their vibe.
Right. But with our little pirate ship, my God, we have so many amazing people, and we help keep each other anchored.
We do. That is the importance of community.
Yeah. And over the years, I've had people sit there and go, Orlando, honey, you need to rethink this. And I did. I take those things seriously. Mm-hmm. Because we have a small enough community to where I can do that. Mm-hmm. This ain't about making money. This is about sharing love and experience.
It's a good community with reasonable, rational people.
Yeah. For the most part. Sometimes we're not the leeches. I overstepped with the leeches. Oh, I'm still a fan of the leeches.
You know what?
Leech power.
You know what? That's fine. You do you.
Oh. But no.
That is... Just because people getting rowdy at the end of the day, they still have rational thought.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. Because almost every person that listens to us has got they've been through some really hard shit. Mm-hmm. And that's part of what draws them. They're sitting there going, they understand. They don't judge.
Oh, so we're trauma bonding.
I don't think it's trauma bonding. I think
life
itself is trauma bonding.
Yeah.
It is a matter of sitting there going, there's a way through this. I can, there's a way through. Mm-hmm. I think it was Patton that said, when you're going through hell, keep on going. Well, yeah, don't stop in the middle of it.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
But recognize your limit when you've had enough. Go watch you a cat video. Mm-hmm. Go watch SpongeBob.
Yeah. I was watching Invader Zim the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the episode, the organ episode. Oh, there's an air to that episode unlike the others. And it's like, ooh, this is creepy.
It was dark.
This
it
is
was
scary.
Dark.
Yeah.
And it's just like to get a cup of coffee and sit on our front porch and look at all the colors.
Mm-hmm.
And be grateful. And it is incredible.
It really is. It truly, truly is.
Yeah. Everybody's having the paranormal and supernatural. Mm-hmm. And Christ said, just don't worry about tomorrow. Take care of today. Today will have its own challenges.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will have its own challenges.
Yeah.
And as alcoholic, we have a tendency to have, I used to tell people, if you got 1 foot in tomorrow and 1 foot in yesterday, you pissing on today. Mm-hmm. Because we are a crude group of people, but that's just how we get it.
Focus on the day that the Lord has blessed to you.
Yeah.
Be in the moment.
Yeah. And if you're going through rough stuff, now I don't say it as much as as far as the email address, it's always there in the description box. cupofcoffeewithscream @gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Now, it may take me a day or two, depending on what's going on in my world, but I will get back to you if you send me an email.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. She's willing to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, and over the years, there's been several. Just to sit there and go, hey, somebody gives a damn. Most humans, that's all they really want, is to know that somebody gives a damn that they're on the planet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell the peoples where we can be found?
Yeah, you can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also, check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Orlando, COCWS.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you all for lifting us up in prayer and remembering us. Mm-hmm. We need that. Mm-hmm. We need that for one another, and we do pray for those who take the time to listen to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We do.
Yeah. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep, yep.
Bye. Bye.